Do you know how much effort plants are? I feel very grown, okay? I am attempting potatoes for the first time right now, and I'm actually killing it. Also, look, I just threw all the pepper seeds from a pepper from the grocery store in this the other day, and this is what's happening. And I was literally just doing it to fuck around and find out. And I was like, what's the worst thing that can happen is nothing comes out of the seeds. It got so wet on my seat, by the way. Like where I'm sitting got completely soaked because I watered my plants earlier, and it's just wet and juicy over here. We are going back like 10 years for some Danielle lore because you know it's good and it's piping hot all the time. So this is one of my OG cheating stories. I got cheated on. That was like when Lemonade came out and we found out Beyonce was getting cheated on. Like, are you dead ass? Wasn't the first nor the last time though. I think a lot of Gen Zers and like millennials have a lot of like cheating culture trauma, but I digress. This is story time about my ex, who we are going to call Vonnie for purposes of the story, right? So, Vonnie was a situationship I had. Now, here is some context. I was in college early. I was in college at this time. I was 16. So, dating older people was more accessible to me. I obviously still knew that like certain age differences were not great, okay? This one was not a big deal, but for future stories, just keeping this in mind, right? I'm in college, I'm 16, and I'm, at CCC, and I meet Vonnie, who's like one of 5 lesbians where we're from that whole county. Like, there's only a few. I don't know, 2 or 3 years older than me. It wasn't a big deal, and was going to the same school. She worked at Wawa. Another thing to note, because we're gonna see that again. Vonnie and I started having some issues because I saw her on Tumblr with the little like quotes and stuff. It just didn't seem like the quotes were about me. And we had been talking for a cute minute, and I think that we had had a discussion about being exclusively talking to each other, but not being officially dating, when we're kids, whatever. So Vonnie works at Wawa. I catch her flirting with other girls all the time. She just wasn't shit. One day I find out she is giving her ex, who we're gonna call Kay for this story. Why the fuck was Vonnie driving Kay to see Kay's new girlfriend? First of all, either I was stupid and dumb for even coming close to believing that story, or like letting her get away with that. But like, who drives their ex to their new motherfucking partner's house, like, at all, ever, under any circumstances? It's so weird. But that's what they said they did. I continued to question her on it. Then I see her Tumblr, right? So her Tumblr is full of all these quotes, and I told y'all that I intuitively felt like they were not about me. So I confronted her about it, and I was like, who are these about? And then I see my arch nemesis in the likes. That shit blew me, because my arch nemesis was only my arch nemesis because we were both white lesbians with fat butts in our area. And we were just like the two like white lesbians that were both femmes and had fat booties. So I didn't really fuck with her. Also, she was just a nasty bitch. Like, she was just never nice to me, and she wouldn't hit me. That was a thing that I just didn't respect that girl, because I had gotten into it with her before, and she threatened to hit me, and I was like, so hit me. And then she didn't. So that's why I didn't like her. So the fact that Vonnie was posting, and then my arch nemesis was liking the post, I was like, oh, so it's some shit going on with you and my arch nemesis. Of course it is, right? Vonnie's a Libra. This is also an important context. I'm pretty sure this is the first and the last Libra I've ever dated. Libras are amazing friends. I'm a Libra rising. I think that Libra placements can be really dope, but they can also be very slutty. Very slutty. Yeah. Vani, and we're gonna call my arch nemesis D. So Vani and D are clearly in communication, and I'm stalking this on Tumblr, so I'm finding things out. Me and Vani finally get into like a blowout argument, and we're like, let's take a break. Let's just say, for conversation's sake, that we took our break starting on Wednesday. Important context for later. All I know is it was a few days ahead of what I'm about to tell you next. So Vani and D are communicating via Tumblr, and Vani has been using my computer for schoolwork on and off. So her email is logged in. Vani and I took our little break. Sorry, I kind of got all the details twisted. I'm gonna keep it in just because like the details are important. They're just out of order. I have ADHD. I think it's just not diagnosed. So I don't know. So Vani and I are on our break. It's, Wednesday at this point. A couple days later, in true lesbian fashion, we are on FaceTime while she's at work at Wawa in the deli with a fucking hairnet on. Okay? A hairnet on a masked lesbian. I just feel like that's a satisfying detail in this story. For those listening, for my 40 listeners. So Vani's at work, we're on FaceTime, and she asked me to send her a picture that I took on my laptop of me and her dog. So I'm going into my email, but her email is the one that was last logged into. And the first motherfucking message I see is from who other than my arch nemesis, D. So what do? I stay on FaceTime, act like I'm sending the picture via email, and I go into this email thread, and I go all the way to the top. And the top of it said something about how Vani has stayed the night over at B's house in the beginning of the week. Like Monday, like before the break occurred. So I wait for the next smooth time to change the conversation came, and I was like, so have you had any communication with that girl D? And Vani's like, oh yeah, like we're friends, so like some back and forth here and there. And I was like, oh really? Like how close are you guys? Like I feel like she doesn't like me. And Vani's like, oh, like I don't know why you'd feel like that, like whatever, just like gaslighting me. And I'm like, And I'm like, yeah, so like have you guys seen each other or anything? Like do you guys hang out? And she was like, and I was like, and she started to like trip over her words, and I was just kind of over it. So I was just like, so like you stayed at her place on Monday though? Her hair, sorry. I'm still thinking about the hair now. Her face dropped. Like I could tell she felt caught up. So she's like, I'm so sorry, I never meant that, and just denying it and apologizing, like admissions of guilt everywhere, whatever. I don't remember exact, like this was 10 years ago. Also, fuck you, Vani, because I am traumatized forever. Like once you've been cheated on, you're traumatized forever. And I got cheated on multiple times. I'm gonna keep coming on here and telling stories because I actually find like cheating stories really entertaining on the internet. So if you're one of them people who's messy like that, then here you go. Here's some true tea time from yours truly. Nothing better than piping hot true tea from a bad bitch, right? Where did I leave off at? Trauma, but that's not where we were in the story. I told her, like, don't come to my house. I'm living with my parents. I'm literally 16 or 17 at this point. Like, I don't even know. I was so young. But I was like, do not come to my parents' house because I'm gonna hit you. Like, fuck you. And she was like my mindset then was very, like, if you cheat on me, you become like scum of the earth. Like, I don't even care. You're a stranger. You have no respect for me. And so I was like, don't be coming over here. Like, there's no reason for you to be over here. And you won't be up over here ever again. And I think that was really it for that. I look better than her now. And I look better than my arch nemesis from high school, too. And that's on not peaking in high school.